All right, let's get real. MLM is an awesome opportunity to grow an asset, but what's with all these old school tactics still being taught? If you're like me, you want modern methods to scale and automate your business. Let's put the marketing back into network marketing and stop using hope as a business strategy. Welcome to Not Your Mom's MLM Radio.
What's going on, everyone? JP here, coming to you from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. How are you doing? I don't even remember what episode number we're on at this point, but I do know what we're here to talk about today. And I'm super excited about it because it feeds off of last episode, which was all about target market. So if you haven't listened to that one, definitely go back and take a listen because it's going to give you a lot of clarity. But this episode is going to give you 10x clarity because now we're going to get super specific about the exact person that you want to talk to, that you want to connect with, that you want to be in business with, that you want to help and you want to serve. And it's like no training. I remember the first time no training that you've ever heard before. I remember when I first had some business coaches and mentors. I kind of pulled all of this from a couple different mentors, coaches that I had worked with and created this. And so if you go to therealjenniferpowers.com, you will be able to grab yourself the freebie. It's a free PDF. So you don't really have to worry about taking notes. Just listen to this episode. And you'll be able to get hopefully a lot of aha moments like I went through when I first was exposed to all this. It just shed a whole new light on who I want to help and serve and who I want to work with. Most importantly, who do you want to attract? Who do you want knocking on your door? Who do you want coming to your funnels? Who do you want saying, hey, what do you do? I just want to join you in business. I don't even care what you do. I want to work with you. That's what we're here to talk about. So ideal client avatar, that's what we're here to talk about today. And this is different than what you have been exposed to before. This is different than your target market, your target audience. A lot of coaches out there will talk to you about those terms. And last episode was really talking more about that target market. But for this episode, we're going to talk about the ideal client avatar. Now, I don't know about you, but when I first heard avatar, I'm thinking of the blue people in the 3-hour-long movie. And I was like, that's making me sound very not super intelligent right now. But I mean, the first time I heard that years ago in the business world, I was like, huh, what? Do you mean like an emoji? Like, what do you mean? So your ideal client avatar is that person that is the ideal, perfect person. And you have to and this is something I never did when I was first starting out in business, you have to get so specific. Like so specific, I will even give you, the first time I did this exercise, I will even share with you my avatar. Her name is Laura, and I will get into that in a few minutes. But for now, what I really want to explain to you is I'm going to start with the first question that I really want you to ask yourself. Okay, will this person bring harmony to your organization? Okay, so if you're in affiliate marketing or network marketing, or you have an online business and you're looking to grow a team and you're hoping to attract people to you, which every one of you on this podcast, I believe is, right? You have to first and foremost ask yourself, is this person going to bring harmony to my team? The answer should be yes. If the answer is unsure, if the answer is maybe, if the answer is no, then that ain't a person that you want, okay? We can all agree with that. So here's how specific that I want you to get. I'm gonna go through and fire away a bunch of questions. And like I said, you don't need to worry about writing these down. You can if you want. More power to you. But this free PDF is on my website. And it's therealjenniferpowers.com/ideal avatar. You can find it right there. Okay. And it's also, I think, in like their resources page or the toolkit page or something like that. So you can find it there too. But anyway, here's the questions. You ready? What is his or her name? Now, I know you're probably like, what? First time I heard that, I was like, I don't know them, so I don't know their name. You have to think about this one person. We all know if you talk to everyone, you talk to no one. You talk to many, you talk to no one. You have to talk to one person. And this is so hard for so many people. You block yourself from moving forward. You can't, it's hard for you to get so specific because you feel like you're, pigeonholing or you're getting so specific that you're getting rid of all the other potential people. And that's not really how it works. So name your avatar, okay? For me, for all of you listening to this podcast, you guys are my avatars, most likely, right? Women, because I am talking to the high-powered, high-value woman who wants to make big impact and big income. All right? So what is his or her name? Okay? What is their age? You have to know that. You're not going to talk however you're publishing, you are not going to talk the same to a 27-year-old as you are to a 47-year-old, right? You're just not. Their points and stages in life are very, very different. Their priorities are very, very different. So you have to know that, okay? So I'm not saying a range. I'm saying what's their age. Is she 30? She 52? She 25? What is she? What's her name and how old is she? Okay. What is their eye color and their hair color? I want you, this is how specific this is going to get. I want you to get so specific on this person, him or her, that you could, if you saw her in a magazine, you'd be like, oh, that's her. That's Laura. She's my ideal avatar. Cut her out, paste her on your fridge, on your laptop, whatever. And you're like, whoa, that's who I'm talking to. Every single thing, a piece of content that I put out, I'm talking to Laura. Okay. I'm just using that name for an example, but you get the idea. All right. What's this person's marital status? Are they married, divorced, widowed, single? Okay. Do they have children? Family, a mom, work from home mom? Does she have 4 kids? Is she a single mom like moi with 1 child? Do they have no kids? Is she a CEO, super business savvy woman that did her career and doesn't have kids? Okay. Where do they live is the next question. What's their annual income? What's their occupation? What are their core life beliefs? This is a big deal, guys, because what does this person actually, what are their dreams, desires, hopes, goals, fears? What are their core life beliefs? Okay. What are their favorite books? What are their favorite shows? What are their favorite podcasts? Hopefully this one, right? Okay. What blogs do they follow? What influencers do they follow? Okay. What magazines do they read? I mean, most people aren't really reading magazines anymore unless you're stuck at the dentist's office waiting for an hour. But, some people still like the good old paper in their hand magazine. Okay. What magazines are they into? What do they subscribe to? What do they do in their free time? Are they really active? Do they like hiking, playing tennis, jogging? They like knitting, arts and crafts? Do they like, what do they like to do? What brings them joy? What's their fun extracurricular activities? Okay. What's their guilty pleasure? Who do they idolize? Okay. They idolize Tony Robbins. They idolize Oprah. Who is their ideal, right? Who are their favorite writers or speakers or authors? And what brands do they love? Does this ideal avatar love Lululemon or Gap or BMW or whatever, right? What are the brands that they love? Okay. What you want to find out is, what do they worry about? What keeps them up at night? What stresses them out to no end? What gives them gray hair, right? What do they have pain? Is there a pain point in their life or multiple pain points in their life that they're really struggling with? Is it time? Maybe they don't have any time, right? Maybe they really don't like their job. And that's, by the way, that's more than 80% of Americans. It's really sad. What do they look at or face that triggers that fear? So I'll give you an example. If their fear is they don't have time, their time's slipping through their fingers, and they're missing this precious time with their family, with their kids, they're missing them growing up, taking those first steps. And what they look at every day is they're in a job where they're not moving forward, they're not progressing, there's no exit strategy, right? They're every day looking at that face in the mirror, sitting in traffic, getting behind their cubicle, and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm missing this and I don't like that, and that's my fear, but I don't have an answer. So this is always staring me in the face, okay? What do they fear might fail in their life if their situation continues. So I'll give you another example. What happens if you're working to the bone, grinding it out, and you're missing time with your kids, but not when you get home, you try to be that like super present mom as best you can before it's bedtime. Then you're so beat that you go to sleep and you don't even talk to your husband or your spouse or significant other, and you are struggling. Your relationship is really struggling. It's starting to cripple. It's starting to break, and you really can't fix it. So if your situation's continuing, you're afraid your relationship is going to fail if this situation continues on. Okay, these are some serious, like at the end of the day, we are all humans. We all have pain points, some bigger than others, but we all have them. And so this ideal avatar gets so specific. If your avatar is a 30-year-old woman who has 2 kids, who is struggling with those couple issues, like I just said, about working and missing moments and their marriage is failing, when you talk and when you publish content and you're a content creator, you put stuff out there to try and attract this person to you, you know everything about her, right? You know her marriage status, her age, her gender, what she looks like, you know what keeps her up late at night. Do you see how knowing the answers to these questions, you see how knowing that you have no choice now but to make your content so much more effective and so much more powerful, because you're talking to that one person. You're not talking to the masses. You're not having this broad audience. You're talking to a specific type of person. And guess what? If that's the person that you want to work with, that's the person you want to help and serve, there's a lot more of that person out there. And you will naturally attract people that have maybe not all of this avatar's qualities, attributes, struggles, fears, goals, but you will start to attract people with 1 or 2 of her struggles. Maybe nothing else is off that checklist. You're going to start, you see what I'm saying? You're going to start to attract people because of how specific you are, because of how targeted you are. And that's why this ideal avatar exercise is that important, okay? I know I told you I was going to give you my example, but and I don't have it in front of me, so I'm just going to remember. The first time I did this exercise, so her name was Laura, and she had brown hair and hazel eyes, and she was 30, and she was married with 2 kids, and she was a stay-at-home mom who she wasn't working anymore in corporate America, but she wanted something for herself, and she wanted to relieve the financial stress of her husband. Now, that's very vanilla. I mean, for me now, where I'm at now, that avatar has completely changed. Very different, because at that time, I was Laura. Like, I don't have 2 kids, and, but I was married, and I was in that same, there was a lot of similarities. And I think what I want to explain to you is, more times than not, your avatar is usually a better version of who you are right now. And that sounds kind of crazy and this is general, but most people find that their avatar, how many times do you say in building your business, man, if I could only clone myself, right? If I could only duplicate myself, I'd be a bajillionaire right now. I'd be so successful because I know how hard I work, and I know how ambitious I am, and I know how great I am. And God, where's more people like me? Where are they? Guess what? She's out there. You just haven't gotten specific enough with letting her know that you're talking to her. You're not talking to him, her, Aunt Susan, Cousin Tammy, the firefighter Frank. It's just all cluster. It's just a mess because it's so darn broad. She's out there. You are out there. You have to get specific with your messaging and what you're putting out there. And this exercise will help you do that. And it might sound a little crazy and ridiculous and too specific. And does this really help? Yes. Take my word for it. It absolutely helps. And here's a huge reason why. You have to know not only who you want to attract, you also have to know, probably even more important, who you want to repel. Nobody really talks about that, but that is it is even more important, okay? Because there is a lot of vampire energy suckers out there, people that are desperate or needy. They're not business-minded. I'm sorry, not sorry. You don't want to work with those people, okay? This is a harsh reality for a lot of people. I know so many of us are servant leaders and we want to help because we have big hearts and we want to see people's lives change. And that's why we start a business in this space to begin with, right? But if you look at the neighbor across the street who's a struggling single mom, and hi, by the way, I was her, okay? And she is constantly struggling so much. She doesn't have like a dime to spare. She's complaining about her situation in her life rather than going out there to fight for a change and to make it better. But you see her and you say, man, she's really struggling. She needs this. I'm going to say it. I'm going to say the thing that nobody says. You do not want people that need what you have. You want people that see it and they want it. They run towards it because they understand the power of passive and residual income. They understand the power of duplication and success systems. They understand that it is 2020 and it's crazy not to have a piece of the online internet marketing world where you can leverage a business model where you literally can sit back and let them take care of all the heavy lifting, right? All the making, manufacturing, advertising, all of the shipping and the handling and the customer service. I mean, literally all of it. It's amazing. It's pretty amazing, okay? So you do not want the person who needs this, because if so, man, you're going to experience what most of us, but I certainly have experienced, which is you are going to be constantly dragging that person and pulling them and becoming their therapist. Have you ever felt that way? Because I sure have. So you want to get specific. You need to think like a real marketer. You want quality over quantity. So again, this exercise is going to get you much more targeted, much more specific, and that scares a lot of people. But the truth is that it's not a numbers game in the way that you have been told. Okay, it is always going to be quality over quantity, and that's just a fact. So you get specific, think like a marketer. And here's the last thing I will say about this, because people ask me this all the time. And before I let you guys go, people say, do you just have one avatar? And the answer to that is no, right? You have an MLM business. So in that business that you are building, you have an ideal client avatar, okay? But you also, as a business owner, are marketing products. So you're going to have avatars for each of your products, okay? So you should have an avatar for, let's say you have 5 products that you're marketing, you will have an avatar for each one of those 5 products. So I'm going to give you an example right now of one of my students who went through the MLM Mythbusters Intro to Automation course. And in this example, this was a gentleman student, and he was marketing a product. I believe it was, let's see here, I think it was for inflammation. It was a product that helped with inflammation. So his ideal avatar was a man named Howard. Howard was 74 years old, and he is married to Millie. I'm going to read this to you because I think this is really helpful for people, okay? Millie and Howard are retired. They enjoy an active life. Howard loves doing yard work and gardening, but pains in his joints often keep him from doing what he enjoys. When he spends a morning pulling weeds or trimming hedges, his elbows and knees are so painful he can hardly sit in his recliner. Millie says that he's getting grumpy, he's getting less done around the house. And Howard doesn't want to take pain relievers because they slow him down and they make him tired. He tried medicinal oil, but he thinks that it makes him smell girly. He doesn't like the smell, and only makes the pain go away for a short period of time. Meanwhile, the weeds are beginning to grow. The flowers and the hedges, they're looking a little rough. Howard is becoming depressed. Okay, that is powerful. So what he did, he went through our course, he answered all of those ideal avatar questions, and through looking at those, he created a story. What we're going to get into in this podcast in the next few episodes, I'm going to talk to you guys about a bridge funnel. I'm going to talk to you about your hero's journey. I'm going to talk to you about crafting the most powerful and compelling and converting story, your story. And knowing your avatar has to come first, because when you tell your amazing story that will have people running to you to try and talk to you, connect with you, buy from you, do business with you, You have to know who you're talking to so that that story of yours that you do tell will speak so much more deeply and connect more deeply with that ideal avatar. Okay, so hopefully, you found this helpful. Like I said, if you want the downloadable PDF to save yourself some time, you can just go to therealjenniferpowers.com/ideal avatar, or you can find it in the tools or the resources section of the page. I think it'll be really helpful for you. And I definitely want you to do this before progressing on in these podcast episodes, because this really is the glue. This is the foundation. This is such an important piece that so many people think, I don't need to worry about that. I just want to get to the good stuff, right? I want to get to the sales and the automation and the funnels and all that good stuff. No, this has to come first. So I will see you on the next episode.
Hey, thanks for listening. Please remember to subscribe and leave feedback. Would you like a copy of the book that changed everything in my network marketing business? If so, you can grab a free copy of Network Marketing Secrets at notyourmomsmlm.com/book.